Hey guys, welcome back to my train videos. Today we are going to do a quick review on the Hogwarts Express Lion Chief set. So this is another theme set. This is my second Lion Chief set. The reason I got this set is not because it's Lion Chief, it's because of the actual engine itself. So even though this is a theme set based on the Harry Potter movies, and this is basically a replica of the Hogwarts Express train that's used in the movies, the engine itself is actually a real engine. It's actually based on a Hall class engine. It's the Alton Hall, and these were engines that were sort of I think they started around 1937 in England, built for the Great Western Railway, and they're just cool European style engines. And so Lionel doesn't make this engine in anything except for the Hogwarts Express set, and they made a similar, they used this engine also in another set called the Shakespeare set, and there was another one that they used it in, but basically they're all Lion Chief sets. So you have to get a Lion Chief set if you want this engine. And this engine is just a neat engine, and I don't have any European-based engines, so I decided two reasons to get this. One was for the engine, and then two, I wanted to test out the universal remote that controls multiple Lion Chief engines with one remote, instead of like each Lion Chief engine having their own remote, which if you watch my last video on the Mystery Machine set, you know that the Lion Chief sets come with their own remote. And each remote is specific to that engine, and if you want to run multiple Lion Chief engines at the same time on the same layout, they make a universal remote that you can use that will control up to 3 different engines. So that's what we want to test out also with this. But let's unbox it and see what it looks like. Okay, so the first thing we get, of course, is the actual remote, just like the other set that we showed you. And this one is, again, specific to the engine, and you can see it says Hogwarts Express. It's got the actual Hogwarts crest on it and everything, which is kind of fun. But same exact remote as the Mystery Machine set I showed you, just specific to this engine. You're going to get your transformer if you're using it as a set, which we're not, because we don't need to. If we're using it on the, if you're just using it on a track just for this set only. We have the tender here. Okay, so here's the tender. Okay, actually it's got some nice little graphics again. It's got the Hogwarts crest on it. Okay, now this being a Lion Chief set, this tender is actually plastic, where normally on most Lionel Premier engines that would be die cast, but this is a plastic tender, although it's really nice. It is a plastic coal load instead of the real coal load, so that's the difference. But again, this is a Lion Chief set, but it actually looks really nice. So. And again, the Lion Chief sets do not have electromagnetic couplers, they're just the manual ones. But it does have it. Alright, and then the engine itself. Alright, so we'll just sort of dump this out here. Now this is a die-cast engine, but if you take the little shipping block out here, you can see that's a really nice engine. Great little detail on it. So again, this is a Hall class engine. European base. These were in obviously England. but it has the obviously the Hogwarts Express theme all printed all over it. Okay. And then if we look at the cars real quick. So it comes with 3 cars, and there are actually some optional cars that you can get with this. So there's some extra add-on cars that you can purchase. So there's a and again, pretty nice cars that go with this particular engine. These again are based on real passenger cars. They're lighted, obviously. They've got the rollers on the bottom here. Again, they are all, in these particular case, it's all plastic. They're pretty lightweight, but they're a nice size actually. And you get 3 of them in the set here. Now for the newest set, I know there is a extra coach car that you can get, and I think there is actually I'll have to go look it up, but there's another car that they produce. I think it's the Dementors Car, where they actually have the Dementors inside the windows, where you can, when it lights up, you can see them, etc. Okay, and that's it. That's the set there. So we'll put it on the track here, powered up. Now this one's a little bit different than the Mystery Machine set, in that it has actual smoke on the engine, where obviously the diesel ones don't for Lion Chief, but this one does. Now these smoke units are not the same as the smoke units that are in the Lion Chief Plus or the full Premier engines, where they have a fan-driven smoke unit. I believe these are just puff units, which basically means it has a little mechanical puffer that pushes the smoke out. And so they're not going to be anywhere near the amount of smoke that you would see on a regular Legacy engine or anything like that. But again, they're not meant to be. So let's get it on the track, and we'll make sure everything works, and we'll open it up with the Lion Chief Bluetooth app, and then we'll see if it pulls down the correct engine name and everything, and then we can actually test out the multi-universal remote. So if you get the Hogwarts Express set, there are 2 add-on cars that you can also buy for it. So this is one of them. This is the add-on passenger car, which is another numbered car. So I'm assuming it'd be in the next order of the numbers that are on the car now. So the numbers start with 99, 7, 18, 19, and 20. So it's going to be probably either before that or after that as far as the number goes. And then there's another car, the Dementors Car, which is not out yet. I think it's due imminently, but it is another passenger car, but in the windows here there are little Dementor shadows that will, shine through when it's lit. And then it also has Dementor sounds on it, so there'll be a switch on the bottom of the car to, as it's going around the track, you'll hear Dementor sounds. So there are 2 cars that you can get to it. So this is just the passenger add-on car, which will just be really just another passenger car, just like the ones that come with the set. And this one will, let's see what number it is. So it's 99,721. So it's next in line on the back of the train, basically. So there it is, just another passenger car. So this would go after the combination car. So we'll put that on the track, and then we'll give it a run and check out the sounds. Alright, just a little note I noticed when I'm putting this together. The coupler system that they use for this is actually, I don't know if you can see it, but this coupler actually goes down inside here, and that's where they're making their electrical connection. This is much different than, say, the Legacy engines. Like if we go down to my Legacy engine here, where it uses a actual IR coupler, which means there's no physical electrical connection. It's using a IR infrared signal between the two pieces here, whereas this one actually has a physical connection right here. It's actually nice. There's nothing to plug in. You just sort of plop it in on the top there, and they snap together like that, which is kind of nice. So just an FYI on this particular Lion Chief set. That's how they do it. And it looks like it's a pretty good gap there. So, but that's just the way these work. So. Oh, and one other note, the little switches to turn the chuff sounds off and the smoke are right here in the back of the cab. I didn't notice them before where they were, but that's if you don't want to use smoke or you don't want to hear the chuff sounds, you can turn them off right here. Alright, just a couple of notes. The smoke unit right here is where you just fill it. You can actually, if you look down there, you can actually see the element in there. It's hard to see in the camera, but it's actually, you can see it right there. This one only takes, according to the manual, 4 to 6 drops initially. And one thing to note is that, again, it's not like the Legacy unit, so it doesn't have a fan-driven smoke unit. You will not see smoke coming out when it's sitting idle on the track, but once it starts moving, then the little mechanical puffer will start puffing the smoke out. And again, it's going to be pretty anemic. It's not going to be a lot. It's not like the other units like you've seen in my videos. So, but it does have a little bit of smoke that comes out of it. So that's where you do that. Oh, one little note also, just before I go into the universal remote, you notice the cars are lighted here, right? It actually is incandescent bulbs inside here, so they are not LED, obviously. But again, you're talking about the Lion Chief set. They're trying to make the sets as lowest price as possible. So they do have incandescent bulbs in that obviously will need replacement eventually in the future when they burn out. And if you notice the sort of when you're looking at it, it's hard to see in the light here, but the way they're lit up here, you can see sort of it's a little brighter at the ends where the light bulbs are, a little dimmer in the middle, but you know, no big deal. Again, just part of the way these sets are, because they're again lower priced. But the engine and its detail is really cool. So it's nice to have a Hall engine, and then just have the Hogwarts theme on it is really nice and cool. So, alright, so let me go grab the universal remote. We'll open that up and then see how to program it. Okay, I got the train on the track. I got the track powered up. You can see there's a little headlight on the front here that does light up, so it does have one little light on the front there. And you can kind of hear it beeping, waiting for its Bluetooth signal. So you can either use the Lion Chief app on your iPad or iPhone or Android device, or you can just power on the remote, which we'll do. So we're getting some steam sounds out of the tender there. Alright, so let's listen to the whistle. Sounds about right. And then the bell. Okay, now when it's sitting still, there are two announcements. One is Haggard talking to Harry about his ticket, and the other one is Harry asking how there could be a 9 3/4 platform. So let's listen to the first one.
Now, your train leaves in 10 minutes. There's your ticket. Stick to it, Harry. That's very important. Stick to your ticket.
Okay, and then this is Harry.
But Hagrid, there must be a mistake. This is platform 9 3/4. There's no such thing, is there?
So those are the two announcements you get while it's standing still, and then there's 4 that you get while it's moving. So let's just start up a little bit on the Ford. You should see a little puff of smoke coming out of the front. So there is smoke coming out of the front. Test the reverse.
Ron Weasley.
So that was the first one. It says, I'm Ron Weasley, by the way. And then the next one is just Harry, I think, when he's telling him the same thing.
I'm Harry Potter.
So he just says, I'm Harry Potter. And then the next announcement is, I believe, asking the attendant asking if they want anything off the cart.
Anything off the trolley, dears? We'll take them off.
So they basically, she said, anything off the trolley, dears, and they said, we'll take the lot. And then the last one, I think, is Hermione.
You're Harry Potter. I'm Hermione Granger.
So that was Hermione saying, you're Harry Potter, I'm Hermione Granger. So there's 4 announcements by moving, and then you get 2 when you're standing still. Okay, it's sitting on the track waiting for its signal again, so we're just going to open up the Lion Chief app. It actually connected right away, 5972, there's a picture of the engine. So we're actually going to go into, and then you can see that you have the smoke on and off, you have your momentum, your speed limit, just like before, just like on the other video I was showing you. Let's go into sounds here, and then you have your different levels for your sound. Turn it all the way up here. And then you have your pitch settings again for your horn and stuff. So, like for instance, right now, if we listen to the whistle, you can hear what it sounds like. And then we'll go in and we'll change the pitch. So you can change a different pitch. So you have a higher pitch, you can have a lower pitch, or you can leave it at its default, which is actually just right in the middle. Which I think sounds pretty good actually itself. So no problems here. Connected right away with the app. It pulled in the right engine number. Everything's good with the Lion Chief app. So we'll get some smoke puffing out of the smokestack as it's going along. Now these Lion Chief engines do not smoke while at idle. They only smoke while they're moving. So, and they're not going to smoke like the legacy engines, but they'll smoke somewhat. that's pretty much it. So that is the Hogwarts Express set. Just needs the extra Dementor car when that gets released, and we'll see what the sounds on that look like. But pretty nice set. Again, one of those theme set, but I really wanted it because of the Hall class engine, which pretty much is in this set only at this point. So, but if you're a fan of the Harry Potter movies, then this is the set for you.